Sukai had barely delivered his line when his body betrayed him. One moment, he stood tall in costume, the heat of the stage lights bouncing off his features as cameras rolled, and the next his knees buckled, his script slipped from his fingers, and his tall frame crumpled to the wooden floor. The sudden thud echoed louder than any dialogue, silencing the entire set. In an instant, gasps erupted across the studio. Crew members froze mid-motion. Extras dressed in period costumes looked at one another in shock. The carefully choreographed atmosphere filming collapsed into raw panic. Tan Songyun's reaction was instinctive. Without hesitation, she broke character and rushed across the stage, her footsteps sharp against the floor. The playful smile she had worn for the scene vanished, replaced with pure terror. Dropping to her knees beside Sukai, she gently lifted his head, her voice trembling as she called his name again and again. Sukai, Sukai, can you hear me? Her hand brushed the sweat already gathering on his pale forehead. Around them, the set crew seemed paralyzed, unsure if this was a scripted moment or a real emergency. But Tan Songyun's frantic urgency left no doubt. She gestured firmly to the medic station nearby, shouting for them to hurry. Even as fear welled in her eyes, she fought to stay calm. Please give him space, she cried, her voice firm enough to anchor the chaotic room. Sukai's chest rose shallowly, his breathing uneven, his face, normally animated with life, looked alarmingly drained under the blinding stage lights. For those watching, the image was unbearable. The charismatic actor who just moments before had commanded the scene now lay fragile and helpless in Tan Songyun's arms. The medics rushed forward, kneeling beside him, but Tan Songyun refused to move aside. She gripped his hand, whispering words that only those closest could hear. Stay with me, don't slip away, we're here. Onlookers would later describe this moment as searingly emotional. Tan Songyun kneeling on the stage floor in her costume, Sukai's head supported in her lap, her hands trembling yet firm with resolve. Photos and leaked clips of this instant would soon dominate social media, spreading across millions of screens in minutes. When the stretcher arrived, Sukai was barely conscious, his eyelids fluttering. Tan Songyun leaned close, speaking directly into his ear. Witnesses swore they saw his fingers twitch faintly in response, as though clinging to her voice. As the medics lifted him, she never let go of his hand. She walked beside him all the way, her grip unyielding, her expression a mixture of fear and fierce determination. The crew, extras and onlookers, stunned into silence, suddenly broke into applause. Not applause for a performance, but applause of solidarity, a desperate offering of strength. Many cried openly, their scripts and props trembling in their hands. Outside the set, the story spread like wildfire. Within minutes, clips trended online, with hashtags exploding across platforms. Sukai collapse. Tan Songyun of Sukai, pray for Sukai. Fans flooded timelines with prayers, shaky eyewitness accounts, and emotional pleas. One user wrote, I've followed him for years. To see him collapse like that, I can't stop crying. Thank you Tan Songyun for being his strength. Another posted, he has given us countless smiles on screen. Now it's our turn to give him our love and prayers. The burning question, why had Sukai collapsed? Insiders revealed the grueling truth. Sukai had been working on an unforgiving schedule. Late-night shoots that bled into dawn, rehearsals that stretched for hours, non-stop press interviews. He had been sustaining himself on little more than caffeine and adrenaline. Fans had already noticed his leaner frame, his darkened eye circles carefully hidden under makeup. What no one expected was that his body would finally give in, and on such a visible stage. Doctors later confirmed that Sukai had collapsed due to extreme fatigue and dehydration. The diagnosis, while not life-threatening, hit like a warning shot through the industry. Behind the glamour of lights and cameras, the reality of exhaustion and pressure could no longer be ignored. For Tan Songyun, the ordeal left scars. 2 days later, her statement to the press carried raw honesty. That moment my heart stopped. Sukai is not just my co-star, he is my friend. Seeing him collapse, not knowing if he was okay, it broke me. I am simply grateful he is safe, grateful to the medics, and grateful to the fans who kept praying. Please let this remind us that health must always come before anything else. Her words drew overwhelming praise. Fans hailed her as a guardian angel, colleagues called her an anchor, and strangers admired the sheer humanity she displayed in the darkest moment. When Sukai finally addressed his fans, the relief was immense. His message was short but heartfelt. I am sorry to have worried everyone. That night was terrifying, but I am recovering well. I owe so much to Songyun, who stayed by my side when I was at my weakest. I promise to Take better care of myself, please don't cry for me, smile for me as you always do. Within minutes, the comment section filled with love. Fans from across the world left messages of encouragement, many sharing their own stories of burnout, reminding him that he wasn't alone. Some promised to support him unconditionally, others pleaded for him to rest. What made this moment resonate even more was the undeniable bond between Soo-kai and Tan Songyun. For years their on-screen chemistry and off-screen camaraderie had captured hearts, but this incident stripped away the lights, scripts and roles, revealing a friendship anchored in genuine care. Industry voices joined, two fellow actors and directors posted words of support, but also issued calls for reform. The workload we put on stars is unsustainable, one producer admitted, though many doubted change would come quickly. Soo-kai's collapse had forced a conversation that could not be brushed aside. Fans took matters into their own hands as well. Prayer circles were organized, online virtual cards circulated, and hashtags like Stay Strong Soo-kai trended for days. Some gathered in small groups, lighting candles, holding banners of support. Their collective energy became a lifeline, an echo of love reaching Soo-kai during his recovery. Stories from the night continued to surface. One extra described how Tan Songyun dropped all concern for her costume or image, kneeling on the hard floor without hesitation. Another crew member recalled the way she calmed the panicked room, her trembling yet commanding voice becoming the anchor that kept order to them. She was not just a co-star but a shield protecting Soo-kai when he could not protect himself. Images from the night remain etched into memory. Soo-kai collapsed on the wooden stage, Tan Songyun gripping his hand with unshakable resolve, the crew and extras crying, the stretcher carrying him away as soft applause filled the room, a scene of fear, love and humanity that transcended the screen. And perhaps that is why this story continues to captivate hearts, because beyond the fame, beyond the carefully crafted roles, Soo-kai and Tan Songyun reminded the world of something deeply human. We are fragile, we stumble, but we rise again through the strength of those who refuse to let us fall alone. What could have ended as tragedy became a testament to resilience, friendship, and the unbreakable bond between two people who cared beyond the spotlight. Tan Songyun's quick action didn't just save Soo-kai, it etched a moment into history, one that fans and colleagues will never forget. And as Soo-kai regains his strength, there is no doubt when he steps back onto the stage, the applause that greets him will not only celebrate an actor's return, it will celebrate survival, courage, and the powerful reminder that behind every star shines the fragile, beautiful light of humanity.